this country's about the red, white, and blue. Giving your up till the job is through.
Hey, Hayes, Kansas, we are coming to your city today. We are with Katie from Jana's campaign. Katie, thanks for joining us.
Sure, no problem.
Katie, give us a little background on you first, and then we'll talk about Jana's campaign.
Sure. So I am actually originally from Dodge City, Kansas, and I moved to Hayes to go to college. So I attended Fort Hays State University, got my undergrad and my master's degree in leadership, and actually met the co-founders of Jana's campaign at school. They were my professors, and that's kind of what led me to Jana's campaign.
Fantastic. Okay, so I know just a little bit about the foundation from what I read on their Facebook post, but tell us about Jana's campaign. What is it and why does it exist?
Sure. So Jana's campaign is a national education and violence prevention organization with the single mission of reducing gender and relationship violence. We were created in honor of Jana Mackey, who lost her life to violence perpetrated by an ex-boyfriend. Jana was somebody who was passionate about women's rights and equality for all, and actually worked as a volunteer victims advocate in her college years, and then became a lobbyist at the Kansas State Capitol, and decided that if she was really going to make the changes that she wanted to make, she needed to go to law school. So she attended KU Law School, and during her first year, she met a guy, and they had lots of mutual friends. Her family met him. Really, everyone thought he was a genuinely nice guy. Towards the end of their relationship, she started to notice some unhealthy behaviors, jealousy, possessiveness, and she believed he was stalking her. So she decided to break up with him. And then 3 weeks later, after she broke up with him, is when he murdered her. And we have learned that 3 weeks up to 3 months after an unhealthy relationship breakup is the most dangerous time. But what's really ironic about Jana's story is she was working on these issues, as well as her parents both taught leadership. And so they decided that because of who Jana was, but also because of what they were teaching young people about what leadership really is, about creating change and working in your community with others to create that change, they decided to create Jana's campaign. And so now we work to educate middle school and high school students, college and university students and personnel, as well as community members about what is an unhealthy relationship, or what are these red flags that we can look for, but also what are your local resources, and what do you have available to you if you are experiencing violence in your relationship.
Fantastic. So we're working with the Rose Garden Banquet Hall. We're going to be doing a concert that night. And then that night, we're doing a silent live auction. I call it a silent live auction. Of course, it's live. But we're basically, people are going to bring re-gifted items they received from Christmas that they don't necessarily use, or they have duplicates of it. Much like what you do after a wedding, right? You get toasters and multiple microwaves. And instead of taking them back to the supermarket or the store or the department store or Amazon, people are going to bring those, set them on the table. We're going to have a silent auction. All the proceeds from that are going to go to Jana's campaign. What will that money specifically go to? Where does that money really have its biggest bang for the buck?
Sure. Well, I first want to thank the Rose Garden for selecting Jana's campaign to be the recipient of this fun event. The money that will be raised will go towards our secondary ed work. So working with middle schools and high schools here in Kansas, and we provide our programs basically for free to many schools. And this money will allow us to really provide those programs to middle school and high schoolers for free.
Okay, very good. Katie, how active are you in the education component of this program?
So I do provide our direct programming. We actually have two educators, myself and Evelyn, who is actually located in Lawrence, Kansas, as well as we have, of course, our co-founders are very involved, but I do provide our direct programming. So I go into schools and I talk to students about healthy behaviors, unhealthy behaviors, how to help their friend if they're experiencing violence in their relationship, and things like that.
Katie, I just Googled you on Facebook. Is this you? Did you get married?
That is, yes. I just got married this year.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So What are some warning signs? Let's talk a little bit because you're going to have an audience here. What are some warning signs that people can look for early on?
Sure. So one of the first warning signs that is very common in unhealthy relationships is isolation. So a partner taking away their partner's support system, not allowing them to hang out or talk to their friends or their family, really only allowing them to be with them as their partner. Another warning sign could be jealousy. So constantly jealous of the things that they have, the people that they spend time with, maybe the opportunities that they have. Jealousy can also look like in young people's relationships as well as in old people's relationships, constant text messages or phone calls. Where are you at? Who are you with? What are you doing? Coercion, so forcing them to do something they don't want to do. Gaslighting is very common as a red flag.
What's gaslighting? Educate me.
So a general definition is kind of crazy making or making somebody's reality, make them feel like their reality isn't what's really what has occurred. Saying things like, why do you always do these things? I wouldn't yell at you if you didn't do blah, blah, blah. You know, kind of that blaming piece in the relationship. I'm trying to think of what else are common. That stalking piece. So whether that's happening online or in person, that is definitely a red flag. So stalking can look as simple as checking up on somebody's social media to see what they're posting, seeing if they're uploading anything. SnapMap makes it really easy on Snapchat for us to stalk people, as well as stalking as we typically think. So following somebody around or showing up at their work or showing up where they said they would be. So yeah, those are some very common red flags, as well as emotional abuse, which is something that looks very similar to bullying. So name calling, tearing somebody down, making them feel like they're not worthy, things like that.
Gotcha. Very good. I think that's all fantastic. I'm like, you're listing these things off and I'm like, oh, that's like what's the difference between normalcy and what you just listed? I think in today's world, wow, there's so much of that.
For sure. And sadly.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Okay, Katie, thanks for giving us a little insight as to what goes on at Jana's campaign. Thank you for the work that you do with them. And I hope we get to meet you Friday night.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.